Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 11th Ward Community Zoning Meeting tonight. It is 6 p.m. on Thursday, July 18th, and we are all gathered here today to consider a zoning request for 3428 South Lituanica. We are seeking a change from residential single family to RT4, which is a multifamily designation. We have with us the requesters, which are the Riveras, who are here on the screen with us, and their attorney, Mr. Tom Pekarsky. Mr. Pekarsky is going to do a quick presentation on the request and what we're looking for here. And just to note, we did have an issue where we were not able to advertise this via our normal channels on our newsletter. So we are recording this tonight and we will post it for the community to view. Anybody else who missed it tonight will have an opportunity still to provide comments or questions after the meeting for a period of 2 weeks. So with that, I will just say, generally speaking, we do these presentations, and then anybody who's a neighbor who would like to ask questions may do so. And then we'll just do a little back and forth here. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Pekarsky. And Tom, I have your attachments all sort of queued up as well. So you let me know when you want me to show those.
Great. Okay. I am Tom Pekarsky of the law firm of Gordon and Pekarsky, and I represent Daniel Rivera and Jeremy Laux. And we are here to discuss our proposal for expansion of the existing building at 3428 South Lituanica Avenue. The property which you may be familiar with is occupied by a two and 1 story brick building that contains 3 residential units. The front of the building, the property is 27.6 feet wide by 130 feet in depth. The property is for the front half of the building is 2 stories in height, about 30 feet. The back half of the building is 1 story in height. The proposal today isn't to expand the density or increase the density of the building, and it isn't to change the use. Simply what we're doing is seeking to put a 2nd-story addition onto the rear onto the rear portion of the property, the rear not portion of the property, the rear portion of the building, and to make it even with the front half. It will remain a 3-unit building, and this expansion will allow the Danielle and Jeremy to continue to reside at that location with an expanded unit. The building meets the existing zoning in almost every way, but the expansion increases the floor area ratio of the property. The floor area meaning the bulk or the size of the building to above that which is permitted in the existing zoning district. So we are seeking a zoning amendment from the existing zoning designation of R3 to that of an RT4. As I said, we meet the building in the expansion actually meets the code for most of our RS3. We are under the height requirement or the height allowance, and as you can see from the survey that's on your screen, we will be the expansion will be following the footprint of the existing rear portion, 1-story portion of the building. So it will not be decreasing the yards beyond the side yard beyond what currently exists. It will simply be going up from the existing the existing wall line or the existing footprint of the building. We are the height of the existing building and the height of the proposed will be lower than our neighbor directly to the north of us. And we are providing a generous 7.5 foot side yard on that side as well. So there is a larger than required side yard. And that's helped by us being on a corner lot where we can orient the building towards the south. This is the height of this is consistent, obviously, with the building that's existing on the property. It's also consistent with the building directly across the street from us on 34th Street, which is 2 stories and built lot line to lot line, and consistent with the height of the building directly across the street on Lituanica as well. So so the expansion, the addition is should have no negative impact on the surrounding area and fits in very nicely. And it will allow Danielle and Jeremy to increase their enjoyment of a property that they have owned for a while, and allow them to remain at this location long into the future. So with that, I would open up the floor to any questions, either by Alderman Lee or anybody else in the crowd.
Anybody have questions? I don't know who CB and Snoop is. Do you
Hi.
have any questions? Are you a neighbor?
Yes, hi. This is Elizabeth Silva. We're neighbors to Danielle and to Jeremy. We're also homeowners ourselves, living next door immediately to Danielle and Jeremy, and we are in full support of their petition. See no issue with what it is that they're requesting, or have any issue with any, potential construction or things of that nature that, would obviously, would be required to allow for the extension of their unit. So just voicing our full support for them.
Thank you. And I
just
also, go ahead.
Just for the record, this is the property that is most affected by this.
Oh, okay.
Yep, we're immediately adjacent to Danielle and Jeremy's dwelling, just one residence over
Okay.
to the north.
Well, you are a very important neighbor. I don't care what Jeremy and Danielle say. You are super important. And I just realized I'm still also sharing my screen. I referred to them as the Riveras earlier because I have no idea where my head is today. Jeremy and I used to work together at United Airlines, and I'm like, oh my God, I know him. Listen,
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
No, I was like, why does this name and his face look so familiar and sound so familiar? Being an alderman kills your brain cells. That's all I can say. I don't have generally don't have a problem with this. I remember when you guys came in and we talked about this. It's on the existing footprint of your current property. The expansion is to add space for the two of you to live in. You're not adding an apartment for anybody new or anybody like that. So generally I'm in support of this just because we didn't have the opportunity to sort of get this out through the normal channels. I do want to put this out to the community just in case anybody else does. I don't anticipate any other, questions coming up, but if they do, and I need to reach out, I'll reach out to the both of you through Tom, and we'll get those handled. I do want to put this out there for a couple of weeks. Generally when we have these zoning requests and we're expanding the zoning, we're worried about parking and the impact of, yet another family on a block potentially. This is not the case. Just to be clear, again, this is just additional living space for the two of you. I appreciate you wanting to continue to be in the neighborhood and create more space for yourselves. So if there's no other questions, I think, like I said, this was going to be a real simple, short meeting. I will post this information to our YouTube channel, and I'll also attach sort of your plan so that people can see this. If they want to look at it more closely. And if they've got questions, they can reach out. But 2 weeks from today, if I hear nothing, I'll provide the support letter to Mr. Pekarsky. The only thing that would stop that at this point is if someone comes back and, tells us that you're a terrible neighbor and, you take up all of the parking on the street because your garage is a man cave. No, I don't ever get those complaints. Anyway, this is great. Thank you for being here. Thank you to your neighbors for also joining and letting us know that you're in full support of this zoning change. And with that, I think we can go. I mean, you guys have any other questions?
Alderwoman, just for your clear information, we have filed this application. The notice sign has just been issued, and
Okay.
we'll be putting that up and sending out letters to the neighborhood probably sometime next week.
Okay, that's great. Perfect. So did we get, hold on a second. Here's what we'll do. We'll end the meeting here.